Hello, this is the 10th lecture for Vocabulary Level 4. In this lecture, we'll be focusing on areas, for example, places that are in the city or outside the city, and also things that are in the house or areas that are in the house. So the first phrase is a residential area, and this is a noun. It means a part of town with a lot of houses or flats, but no offices, big shops, or factories. So, like this picture, this is a residential area. There's a lot of flats and houses, but you don't see shops and factories and offices. It's just a residential area. It's an area where residents live. Residents mean people. My parents live in a residential area just outside the city centre. Rents in the residential areas are lower than in business district. You must satisfy the residential qualifications to get a work permit. Suburb. This is a noun. This is an area where people live outside the centre of the city, the outer area of a town rather than the shopping and business centre in the middle. So a suburb is an area, like in this picture, where people live outside the center of the city. So the center of the city is where shops, businesses, offices are. But the suburb is outside the center, and that's where all the houses are located in. We drove from the middle class suburbs to a very poor inner city area. They lived in a suburb of New York. People who lived in suburbs have to commute into the city. The company decided to relocate to the suburbs because the rent was much cheaper. Cottage is a noun. It's a small house usually in the countryside. Like this picture, it's usually in the countryside. There isn't much houses around. It's just a small house in the countryside, usually near nature. They live in an idyllic country, thatched cottage with roses round the door. The cottage is situated in the middle of the wood at the end of the narrow potholed lane. They have just bought a darling little cottage. Terraced and terracotta. So a terrace is a noun. It's a row of often small houses joined together along their side walls. Terraced is an adjective. It's built as or belonging to a row of often small houses joined together along with their side walls. And terracotta is a hard baked reddish brown clay. So this is a terracotta. Usually a terrace also means it's a place where, for example, in front of a house or flat, it's located outside. So this is the house where you go inside and people live, and this is a terrace. It's a place located outside where you can see, like usually terraces are high, where you could see over the city. We rented a little terraced house in South London. The courtyard was full of exotic plants in a terracotta pots. These are the pots. Our kitchen tiles are made from terracotta, and like I said, terracotta is this material. Stair is noun. It's a set of steps which lead from one level of a building to another. So these are stairs. He stood at the foot, which is the bottom of the stairs, and called out, "Breakfast is ready." So at the bottom of the stairs. I had to climb a steep set of stairs to her front door. He climbed the wooden stair and knocked on his grandfather's door, go up the stairs and her office on the right. A garage or garage is a noun, and it means a building where a car is kept, which is built next to or as a part of a house. So A garage is a part of a building, or it can be a separate building. Like in this picture, it's a separate building. Usually, it can be a part of a building where, like, the house is on the top and the bottom part is the garage. I have booked the car into the garage because the clutch is slipping. If you are near the garage, could you check to see if the car is ready? We have just built a new garage at great expense. Load is a noun, and it means the amount of weight carried, especially by a vehicle, a structure such as a bridge or an animal, the amount of work to be done by a person. So, for example, this person is carrying a load. Um, Usually donkeys or horses in some places carry a load. So, a load can consist of anything: food, equipment, jewelry, anything. The maximum load for the elevator is 8 person. I've got a load of work to get through before tomorrow. I've got a heavy light teaching load this term. Junk is a noun, and it's things that are considered to be of no use or low quality. So these are all junk. They're the quality is low. Maybe these are pieces of metal or plastic. It can be used, but it's low quality, or it might have little value. We ought to clear out this cupboard. It's full of junk. I can't stand watching the junk that's on TV these days. Allow, your, Allow yourself one junk drawer in each room for the stuff you can't decide about. Stuff. Stuff is noun and is used to refer to a substance or a group of things or ideas, often with a description of their general type of quality or saying who they belong to without saying exactly what they are. So this is, you can say these are children's stuff, children's clothes. When you say children's stuff, it's like generalizing it. This is children's clothes, this is toys, and so on. You can say medical stuff. So there's many kind of ways to use stuff. All that stuff she has been saying about Lee is rubbish. We'll have to carry all our camping stuff. Her appetite for shopping became the stuff of the legend. Do you want help bringing your stuff in from the van? Yes, of course. So, stuff can literally be anything. Like, I can say my stuff. If I say my stuff, it will be like my clothes, my makeup, my jewelry, my books. So it will include everything. Drawer is a noun. It's a box-shaped container with a top, which is a part of a piece of furniture. It slides in and out to open and closes and is used for keeping things in. This is the drawer in the picture. I don't like to go rummaging through other people's drawers. People usually store things in drawers, maybe clothes, books, or papers, or stuff of value. I keep my socks in the bottom drawer. We came across some of our love letters in my wife's drawer. A cupboard. This is a noun and it's a piece of furniture or a small part of a room with a door or doors behind which there is space for storing things, usually on shelves. So, cupboard can be like this in the picture. There's also kinds where it's like this little room where you open the there's a door, you open it and usually store. People usually store food or extra things and so on. Mum kept all the children's playthings in the cupboard. I found my tennis rackets at the back of the cupboard. Is there plenty of cupboard space? Are there many cupboards in your new house? Okay, so this is a little quiz. These are pictures of the things that we have done. I want you to write on a piece of paper what this picture represent, what word it is, and so on. And this exercise is good for visualization and also for spelling. So when you write the word of this, make sure you spell it correctly. And so pause this video. After the video, I will give you all the answers. Okay, so by now I guess you've finished. This is all the answers. Compare it with your answers and make sure the spelling you've done is the way you've written it and the spelling is correct. Okay, so see you again till next lecture.